wish I had.
So when Blitz is not here, we can have naked time.
That's right, Dusty.
And I'm
Blitz
thinking,
comes back naked time.
I was gonna say everybody in here has seen me naked before, but I guess you hadn't.
Most of us have, yeah.
I hadn't.
Congratulations.
You will.
I don't know.
I just did.
Wait a minute. I don't know if JR has.
I'm not in a hurry.
Oh, come on and flash him, Yappy.
It's like the Mile High Club. I'm not in a hurry to join.
Yes, you are. I need that.
I've never had a car accident. I don't think I want to have one either. Much like I don't want to.
I think everybody here has had that.
I've had 1, 2, 3. No, yeah, 3.
Actually,
And a couple bikes too, huh?
I got a question.
One.
Has Raspberry ever seen you naked?
I don't know if he has.
Raspberry.
Raspberry, did you ever
Although
see him naked?
He's seen some interesting things at dead dog parties that he sat in the corner drunk at.
I remember those. Raspberry, if you see Gappy naked, hang yourself.
I
I mean,
haven't been to a dead dog
I mean,
party in a while.
it would involve like a desk and a trendane.
Uh-oh.
Which is not an accessory you can normally buy.
So Raspberry got to see way too much of
Oh my god.
trendane
Yes.
What is trending?
under a desk.
Trendane is like...
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
Trendane is an ice cream
I don't even know
cone
the
with
guy, and I can
sprinkles,
guess what happens
and
next.
you unwrap it, and you chew on it, and it makes you happy.
I'll stick with that.
Jeez.
Raspberry must be
I'm
down
confused.
Yeah, Raspberry
I'm
must be
lost.
Raspberry must be grabbing a beer.
I can't blame him.
Trendane was my first roommate here in this house.
Was
Ah.
He lasted all of about 1 month,
Oh.
Whoops.
and he wants to go back to California.
I think
Whoops.
Raspberry's probably shotgun.
You just had that effect on people.
Oh, he caught me sneaking out of my shower once, and he does remember the trendane.
Oh.
He does.
Of course, I saw Raspberry, naked once too. I came out to get something to drink from the refrigerator,
Uh-huh.
and there was something in the way of the refrigerator.
Yeah, Raspberry did answer the question. He was
It
too
was-
drunk to move.
It was self-luminescent.
That's.
There was a moon in the house.
So I'm keeping an eye on channel. There's a question that popped up in channel for me, and I don't know how to answer it.
Uh-oh.
Rainy Days is asking me, if I was a famous person, who would I be and why? I honestly don't know.
Trendane
Yeah.
naked.
No.
I'd be someone no one's ever heard of.
Who would you be?
I'd be a writer for some.
No, you have to be
Show.
a famous person. Someone
Oh,
we've
I
heard
don't
of.
want to be famous.
If you were going to be a famous person, who would you be and why?
Pierce Brosnan.
Why Pierce
Pierce
Brosnan?
No, I'm saying you should.
You want me to be Pierce Brosnan?
I could see that.
I'm trying to think. Who would I want to be?
What in the?
I'm trying to think. Who would I want to be? I don't know. Who would I wanna be?
Throwing at you.
Thinking. I have an idea.
In the bush. Push, push,
What?
in the bush.
Where'd that come from?
Wow.
You know, it's hard for me to say, a famous person I'd want to be. There are
I
people
know
wanna
who you
be.
could be.
Who?
Gary Coleman.
No.
Yes.
No.
What you talking about, Israel?
Oh man.
I wouldn't want to be anybody. I want to just be myself.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty happy being myself.
I would rather myself be more rich, but
I don't think I'd want to be.
you want to be
anybody else.
Jesus?
No.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't want to be anybody else. There are people I'd want to meet, people I'd
Want
want
to
to
be
hang
Paul
out with.
McCartney?
that's just it. I would rather meet people rather than be them. Because I couldn't be them because they're their own personality.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, so Yappy, if you could meet any famous person, who would you want to meet and hang out with for a day?
Oh, there's a few on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some people that I admire.
Dead or alive.
Both.
band?
In either, it doesn't matter.
Do you spin me right around people? You want to meet them?
It's hard to say who I'd want to meet dead or alive. And some of them might be...
Well, the singer's okay.
Some of them might not be what people would necessarily
You know, I will tell you.
appreciate because I might want to meet somebody just to find out why they did what they did.
Okay.
Okay, like who?
If you were to go back and spend a day, let's say, with like Hitler, to figure out what he was thinking, what was his mentality, what was he?
He was insane.
Yes, but what was his logic?
He didn't have any.
Think about. I was thinking about this. I watched the Diary of Anne Frank,
Uh-huh.
and I got to wondering about how does a guy like Hitler become so charismatic, but with such a view of like craziness, to get people to follow him in that crazy view.
Well, I think there was a lot of that had to do with historical timing. I mean, you were looking at a time when there was a country that had a really prolonged economic retraction. You also had people that had been defeated in a war. They were looking for something somewhere to like focus on.
But now people are
just
starting to
focused on
say
him.
that Obama's the same way.
I don't know.
Well, luckily we have term limits, so he can't get very far. But they're saying that he's very charismatic, and he's very very dictatorship.
Well,
you know,
so is
because
Simon Cowell.
extreme liberalism is the opposite of dictatorship, though. So it's kind of hard to say what's going on.
See, I'll tell you some of the people I would really love to meet and hang out for a day, and some of these might shock a few people. I would absolutely love to hang out and meet Abraham Lincoln.
Why?
Just a guy who was able to guide a country that had split itself apart and try and bring it back together.
All while
all
wearing
the
underdog
stress.
boxes?
Again,
All
he
the
had
stress.
to have been very charismatic to win the people's.
Right.
But you look at any president that has ever run. Most presidents are very charismatic speakers.
Jimmy Carter.
Carter could speak. Bill Clinton could speak.
Ronald Reagan could.
I won't say anything for Bush because he was kind of an idiot and was speaking. But but you go back. Kennedy was a very charismatic speaker.
But someone else that I really admire, and you're going to think I'm totally retarded for this, okay?
Well, we already do.
But somebody I completely admire and totally respect is Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers.
I don't think I'd want to spend a day with him, though.
Because one of the things that was just
That'd be creepy.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that's really interesting, it's like it's on YouTube. You guys can go look at it if you want. But it's when he was talking to the Senate, trying to get funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. The senator was very adversarial, very aggressive. He just continued to remain calm and just talked about what he felt was important. And he completely changed the guy's attitude just by talking and being kind. And I think there's really something there for a person that can do that.
Drugs.
No. So, I mean, that's just, like I said, I completely admire someone who can do that. Not one single curse word, not one time did he raise his voice.
I'll bet you when he was alone, he stubbed his toe with mother.
Well, no, I'm just saying, but in the 1960s, he was able to get $10 million out of Congress to start a little corporation for public broadcasting just by being polite. And I really find that very, very
somebody
impressive.
who I think I would want to meet, and I'm not going to be religious or anything.
Uh-huh.
But if he did exist, and I'm not going to debate that, and I'm not going to get into religion.
Uh-huh.
But if the person really did exist,
Yeah.
Buddy Holly.
Jesus.
Oh.
That'd be interesting.
I was close.
Assuming you could speak the language.
Yeah,
obviously.
well, let's say the language barrier wasn't there.
Yeah.
But to see what it was that he did to win people's, or to see what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm going to get into the religion, but like I said, it is on record that he did exist.
Right.
I mean, it is documented that he existed.
I would
But it's
say
what did he do to get people to follow him and stuff like that?
all
you know?
them lobes and patience.
I think someone else that'd be really, really interesting to talk to would be someone like Benjamin Franklin.
He would be interesting, or Washington.
Why do you want to hang out with all these old people?
Because they made lots of important changes in the world.
Another one, Thomas Edison. I would
Yeah,
love
yeah,
to talk
Edison.
to him.
Edison would be really cool.
That'd be a nerdgasm for you.
Yes, it would. Oh, can you imagine if Edison were today able to see what his inventions have led to?
Yeah.
He'd probably want to take them all apart just like you.
But I mean, just to think that here, because of you, these things exist. I mean, granted, if it hadn't been him, it would have been somebody else. But I mean, a lot of his inventions did lead into later items.
He just shot himself. You're watching what?
Well,
Alright,
actually, what was it, Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie that had the Benjamin Franklin?
Yeah, Bewitched had an episode.
Yeah.
Where they would always pull like historical figures and.
But
meet
they
them.
did it pretty well, though, I think, right?
Yeah, they did okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I Dream of
I don't
Jeannie
know.
did it too.
but or let's say, if you could go back in history for a day, what day in history would you want to go back to?
Any place as well.
Any place, any time.
The 7th day the Earth was created.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, as I say, what one day would you want to go see for yourself?
Well, okay. Again, total geek. There is an event. I could pick any day. It doesn't really matter which day it happened. I'd want to spend one day in the 1939 World's Fair. I am a total nerd for the 1939 World's Fair. And I would love the opportunity to see that